How's it going, everybody? My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT, and we're back with another live stream, again with the Digitakt 2, as that is the most exciting thing in my life. In terms of music. There's a lot of other crazy stuff in my life going on, but in terms of music, the Digitakt 2 is the most exciting thing I've got going on. And tonight, I'm taking it out to play a show. So it's going to be the first show with the Digitakt 2, and I don't know how many people have gone out and played shows with it yet. I don't know that many people who have them yet, and so I'm excited to put it through the ringer, which is what's going to happen tonight. So it needs to perform as the Digitakt 1 did, and then some, right? So I've pulled in a couple of projects into my Digitakt 2 from my Digitakt 1, and it works seamlessly for the most part. I have actually come across a couple of little bugs. Before we go forward, I do want to mention today's stream is sponsored by my shop, Modbang, modbang.com. This is an electronic music store where we sell peripherals for electron boxes like stands, risers, different things for Roland, glow-in-the-dark cables, MIDI cables, 3.5-inch cables, transparent cables, cool stuff like that. You can find us in a couple other shops, but you can also visit modbang.com and just buy them from me directly. So without further ado, let's jump into some live music production. All right, so last night, if you're in my Discord, you would have had the opportunity to watch me play on the Digitakt even further, and so I do some streaming in my Discord sometimes, and usually with the M8. But last night I set it up so that you could listen to the Digitakt 2 during a live stream, and I was up late, so it was a late night stream on the Discord, and I was working on some music. So I have a project that actually started on Digitakt 1. I've brought over to Digitakt 2 and is now almost complete after yesterday, countless hours of working on this music. And I do want to talk about that and share some stuff. Here's some music. This is the intro. It's like a techno electro house thing that turns into some industrial, that turns into, I don't even know what else, some EDM rock dance music. If you're familiar with the stuff that I make, it always kind of goes like chill, 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 really hard, and then it gets into like this faster dancey stuff. And that's just kind of like my workflow. It's the kind of music that I really like to make on the Electron boxes. One of the bugs that I encountered so far is actually with this track here. And hopefully that's not too quiet. I can turn it up. I can turn it up even further if you'd like. Let's see. All right, so let me show you the little bug that I encountered. So this is a project I brought in from Digitakt 1. It was using the slice machine on Digitakt 1, which is now called Grid on Digitakt 2. And I don't know if they reworked slice machine or not, but the sliced up patterns that I had from my Digitakt 1 in the Digitakt 2 aren't performing perfectly. And I'll show you this because you can hear this beat right here. I'll just turn down the Digitakt. Turn this. I don't know if you can hear it. I went in and adjusted it to try and fix it. There's just some like weird, like minor transient misses. It was a perfectly quantized sample because I repitched it and stretched it so that it fit perfectly, and now it's just slightly off. So it's just one of the bugs that I found so far in Digitakt 2. Not that I'm trying to have anything bad to say about Digitakt 2, because you know I love the Digitakt. You know I'm absolutely in love with this, and I'll take Digitakt 2 over Digitakt 1 any day, even with a small bug like that. Also, sponsor me, LaCroix. For God's sake, I need your money. I need your sponsorship. Okay. Look at what I made for them. They don't care about me at all. So that's just one of the things, and that was a bummer, and I haven't checked out some other songs that I think we're going to check out together today, and we'll see how they worked out, because I have another project that I have to import into Digitakt 2. It's already on here, I just haven't loaded it up yet. And kind of discuss what I'm going to do at the live show. I haven't set up any Control All on Digitakt 2 yet, and I haven't set up any of the Control All config stuff on the Digitakt 2, because I don't exactly know what I want to do with the Control All config yet. I mean, I know what I would do compared to like what I did before, which was like exclude kicks and snares and any sort of pitched information like synth tracks and stuff like that from my music production, so that the Control All doesn't affect that. But I don't care about that very much right now, because what I care about at the moment is all these new tracks on Digitakt 2. And it is a huge, huge improvement. I gotta say, I am already using the extra tracks. I ran out of, I'm going into old projects and I'm adding to them more music as if I had 2 Digitakts, and also using chorus very liberally, and I love it. I'm using chorus on drums, I'm using it on hats sometimes, I'm using it on vocals all the time, I'm using it on some synth lines, and I absolutely love it. The chorus is an awesome, awesome advantage on Digitakt 2. And another thing that I found that was really cool with Digitakt 2 that I just realized this morning, this is one of my discoveries, maybe this was already mentioned in like a Loop Pop video or something, but I discovered it organically, and that's this. In the Trig menu, we actually have, it says fill, condition, and probability, and I didn't even think about it, but before, and on Syntakt, for instance, we just have a single condition per step. We now have 3 conditions on a per step level. We can add fills to things that are 2 of 2. We can add fills to things that are probability. We can add a probability to a conditional trig. Like, it's crazy. So I was just realizing this, and I started using it without even realizing that it was never accessible to me before. I was just doing it. I was just seeing it and going, okay, I'll do that. And then I was like, wait a second. I've never done this before. This actually is brand new to me. And I was so excited. I was like, this is something that I haven't seen anyone really discuss, but that's huge. This is a huge, huge upgrade to the sequencer on the Digitakt. So I'm so excited about this. I'm going to be using it all the time in my music. And what I'm excited about is this in conjunction with these extra tracks. So an idea that I like to do on the Dirty Wave M8 is I like to take like a really spacious stereo drum fill on the M8 and then do a nice slice on it. So on the Digitakt, it's a little bit harder because what you have to do is prepare that drum fill separately before you do this. You have to go in, set a track up, and go find those individual spots within it, and then resample it after you've given it some quantized, evenly spaced amount on your sequencer. Then you resample it, then you can put it into a slice machine or a grid machine on Digitakt 2, and then you can create drum fills really easily. This is a project that I intend to do. Maybe I'll even do it here. I actually want to make a whole video tutorial on it, so I don't know if I want to share it on stream, but it's just really cool. So with stereo samples and drum fills, they sound so good. Like, processed drum fills are the coolest sounding thing ever to me in electronic music. I love wide drums. Like, I really do. I just think it's so cool. So I'm taking advantage of that quite a bit. I'm going to share some music with you before we start, digging into this a bit. But I want you to hear the sounds that I'm able to come up with now. And this was some stuff that was originally on Digitakt 1 and now ported over to Digitakt 2, and just hear the quality of how the device is working at this point. I don't know how else to put that, but so I'll go back over here. And this is a song that I wrote on stream. And I added chorus to the vocal lines. Not that vocal line. We'll skip to the next pattern just to get it going. Listen to that voice. Vocals now can cut through the mix because of chorus. This was something you couldn't do very easily on Digitakt. It just wouldn't cut through the mix. We were listening to it without even the syntax being here. And you know what else? What's up, everybody? What's up, Toby? What's up, Blake? 256K, Circo, how's it going? Paul, Abat, Wild Rogue, The Crazy Wabbit, Yeti, D0 Beats. So many people. Thank you for hanging out and jumping into the stream. I just lost my train of thought by saying hello to everybody. What was I about to say? Oh, I know what it is. People have been commenting on the YouTube stream that I did 2 days ago, which had this like incredible amount of views on it, which is great. And I'm glad everybody was checking that out. I feel guilty. It's 3 hours long, and I was kind of just like, it was my literal first 2 hours with the device. So forgive me for just being in awe and just falling all over the place looking for stuff. I'm feeling much more confident already today with Digitakt 2 to the point where I'm like, I think I know most everything. I have not most everything. I'm getting there though. I did make my first MIDI instrument on the Digitakt 2. I saved my TB03 with all of its settings. So now I can recall the TB03 anytime I want into Digitakt 2. Really cool. An absolute killer feature. Something we had in the M8. M8, way ahead of its time, as we all know. We're excited about M8 release. That's coming really soon. It's supposed to be delivering this May for those of you who got the pre-order. Very excited about that. We love the M8. But one of the things I really noticed, and some stuff that people were mentioning in the stream, because I brought it up at the beginning of the stream, was how the Digitakt 2 sitting next to my Syntakt made the Syntakt feel a little bit dated. And the Syntakt just came out. And we're already feeling it's like a little bit dated because the Digitakt 2 is so much further ahead. And the more that I play with the Digitakt 2, the more I feel this way about the Syntakt. And I think that they could fix it. I think they could fix it without having to add the extra buttons. And I think, because I do know the LEDs on these boxes, at least on these buttons, they all can change color. So if we had different page colors for 1 through 8, we could do it on the Syntakt. And I think that would be really good. I think they have to do it. And we need page loop as well. And that's something they could easily implement. And then some of the other features in the Trig menu, having multiple menus for the Trig menu so it matches Digitakt. I think all these things are going to come. I don't think Electron's going to leave it like this. This probably has the same CPU as the Digitakt 2. I hope. I really hope so. But they have to add these features because it's frustrating already where I'm just like, I'm getting used to this and the way that the keys work for navigating and the way going through the sample and sound library and just how it's pressing no doesn't take me out of the menu. It takes me back a menu and I'm getting used to that already. And it's not the same over here. So everything's feeling so different. And I really want them to update the Syntakt to have what the Digitakt 2 has. And I hope that happens soon because it should just be a porting of some of their Rust software. So maybe it's something that wouldn't take them very long, and encourage people to start buying Syntaks because it still is very relevant. I was thinking that when I first got Digitakt 2, and I like I mentioned in the stream a few days ago, that I was like, I'll get 2 Digitakt 2s, but I don't think I do need 2 Digitakt 2s, even though I am still probably going to do it. But I don't think I need 2 of them for this gig. I want 2 to have in my studio because I'm just a goober like that. But I wanted to have 2 just because of the advanced features here. But I realized that the synthesis features on the Syntakt, they're just so nice to have. Like, it's really nice to have the analog engines, the dual VCO, the noise engines and stuff like that. It's just really convenient. And to be forced to be using samples is not something that I want to have to do. I don't know. It's still up in there, but I think I'm going to stick with this setup. I do think right now that I have the perfect setup. And as you can see, I pulled out I'm thinking Digitakt everything now. I pulled out the microcosm. Before I pulled out the microcosm, I had the OP1 in the mood. And then I was like, I don't like this. So I took the OP1 and I plugged it into the microcosm and I was like, I don't like that. So then I took my Korg, which is a virtual analog. It's got PCM stuff. It's got all these like classic sounds in it. I plugged it into the microcosm and I found that this was a sweet spot. So there's some really cool stuff I can do with this. So I love that. And now that we have stereo in the Digitakt, I can make really good use of these pedals. They're these big stereo pedals that do all this wild stereo width stuff with granular sampling and stuff. Now we have some value. We can put that. What's up, Patriarchy? Whoa, thanks for the tip, man. Appreciate that. I'm not sure what A is that. Australian? So yeah, we're Austrian. I don't really know, but now that we can do the stereo sampling, I'm trying to take advantage of it as much as possible. So I'm trying to make everything wide and big and huge. And I haven't gotten so far with that. Not as far as I would like to have gotten. I realized that I don't have any really great stereo instruments. The Korg one is the closest because it has some stereo effects like rotary, you know, like the rotary speaker effect. And it's got some stereo delays and reverbs, and then the microcosm does stereo, and the mood does stereo, and that's all fine. It kind of makes me want to plug in the octocosm, which is my template for the Octatrack, and just process that and sample that into the Digitakt, which is probably going to be my next thing I do to start writing music, and just having that like noisy, granulated stuff. The Octatrack thing I made is extremely stereo. It really feels stereo. So I think that'll do a great job of really showing off how cool it is to be able to sample stereo in the Digitakt. If you're interested in learning more about that, you can visit patreon.com/EZBOT, because that's the only place to get the Octocosm template in its current state, which is about a quarter done. But even at a quarter done, it's quite powerful, and it's like an early access game. It's like Manor Lords. I don't know if you guys have seen Manor Lords on Steam, but I started playing Manor Lords and I was like, this game's crack and beautiful, but it's also EA. But still, you know, some things in early access, they're worth diving into. All right, yeah, everybody wants to always know about this thing. Denki Oto's OMX27. I'll just put a link in the video descriptions or something, because I'm tired of answering that question. It's cool. Grab one. Okay, what I want to share before I start working on music, because that's what I have to do. I'm playing a show tonight. I'm trying to prepare my set, and I'm very close right now. I think I'm gonna go through some of the music that I've written, and I'm gonna switch over to some music that I wrote yesterday, and it's pretty much a finished track. It was something I mentioned I started on Digitakt 1, I ported it over to Digitakt 2. I've been using Digitakt 2's features, the chorus, the better sounding effects. It's 4824, so we have better digital audio converters in here. Therefore, our effects are also 4824. We have better reverb, better delay, better chorus. Everything about Digitakt 2, upgraded, sound engine, upgraded. It just sounds better, and there's a reason for it. It's because it is better. So let's listen to some music, and I'm going to get started. I'm going to try and play a song for you as practice for what I'm going to be doing later today when I take Digitakt 2 out to go play a show with Jay Hosking, DJ Weak Acid, and Som Shankar here in Seattle. So I'm going to get started with that. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out in the chat. Let's just listen to a little bit of music. A lot of it is being done on Digitakt 2. Get to this mute mode. Starting to get used to actually hitting the mute mode correctly. Want to see something cool? Check this out. Function, yes. Cue up mutes. Bring it back in. It's a sick trick. I'm trying to go through this song a little extra fast just so we can keep going. Because I would have sat on that for a while and faded stuff out a bit. Clipping. I love the Digitakt 2 sounds so good. Just punchier. Something about it's just better. See what we can do here. Try that again. here for a sec. All right. So that is the first song that I finished with Digitakt 2. And I finished it last night. I mean, I think it's finished. I think it sounds all right. It's definitely EZBOT music, that's for sure. And now I have to go through all my projects, and then what you want to do is go into your patterns and then reload from project, reload the whole pattern, puts it back into its current mute states. We would do that on all of them. Reload whole pattern, and we go back and we do this same process on all the machines. Reload, reload. Reload, reload. And now this song's ready to go play a show, which I think is going to be a absolute banger at the show. It's like song 3 in my set, because I open with this one. For whatever reason, this song always makes me think of Ricky Tinez. I don't know what it is. But this one also goes into that distorted thing that I like to do. Like, hear that? The vocals are making it over all the synth sounds. Let's hear it on this one too. Mix sounds good to me, right? It is going into analog heat plus effects, which I'm doing some bass to mono and a slight saturation, as Toby mentioned. This part doesn't feel like a Ricky track, right? You want to do sidechain pumping with my performance mixer template? Source menu, track or LFO menu, track 5, depth 1. And you can record a loop of that. Lucky guess. Now we're in a recorded loop of the sidechain pumping. So if I want, I could go to like a new track. You could hear me, it recorded that, the playback. We can go over here and turn the sidechain pumping back off. Cool. Yeah, I feel like it's just something about it. Everything just feels cleaner. Everything feels tighter. It sounds really good. Now that I have, because the Digitakt is a very good sounding machine. Very, very nice sounding device. And now the Digitakt sounds even better. I just feel like it just upped the quality of all my sounds. And I am taking advantage of things like the comb filter. Like, check this out. In this track, this vocal thing here, right here, this has got chorus all over it, making it really wide. Very comb filtered. And I'm using the stretch machine. What I did to get this sample was I used the vocoder on the King Korg Neo, and I sang a little vocoded thing into it, saying I may be too young, which turned into this at the end. But to get these cool rhythms that I've got going on with this vocal pattern, it's all about your LFO. So what you can do is go into your LFO, and it's going to depend on, like, your LFO by default speed is set to 48, and that's actually really great. And so what you do is you just put a sample down and have it play. Set your LFO to trig mode, a square wave, and then play with the depth. Bring it up all the way so that it transgates it. Set the destination to your amp volume. I haven't even used all 3 LFOs that I have available to me yet, even though I should, because it's awesome. But set the depth all the way up, and then what you can get is these rhythms. And this sounds like a really cool, it's got the triplet on it because of the 48. Well, this one doesn't have the triplet, I'm sorry. The next one does. And then now we have these 8 pages, and then this one's got a different rhythm. This is the triplet. And then same sample, but I parameter locked the value to change so that it kept the pitch. 32x multiplier on this one. And you can also invert the shape, which I believe I did at one point here. Did I? Oh, I used a ramp at the very end. Anyway, it's a really great way to add some spicy rhythms to your music from a long sample. It's just by parameter locking some like transgates. So it's kind of like using LFO tool, if you're familiar with that. There's lots of tools built into your DAW, but LFO tool is probably the most popular VST that you can get in your DAW for making transgates and for doing sidechain ducking and stuff like that without using a compressor. And I still think I'm going to end up doing a lot of my like compressor ducking tricks because I don't want to always use the compressor, but because I do sometimes actually like to actually use the compressor, and if I use it for sidechain ducking, it kind of takes away the compressor in the Digitakt too, despite me always compressing my input signal on the Octatrack. These are my compressor settings on the Octatrack, if anybody's curious. There were some folks talking about this on Electronauts about their compressor settings for like a great master mix, and it's very similar to what I have. They don't have the mix turned up all the way. I think This one sounds really great too. If you're interested in trying this on your Octatrack to see if you get good compression for an incoming bus or a master compressor, as long as you're not doing resampling of your master track, use a compressor. You can use a compressor on your master track and your Octatrack, but I think these are good settings for compression. As you can hear, things sound pretty smooth here. All right, let me answer some chat stuff. Last time that I streamed, I didn't see the chat. I saw ILLGATES was in there. I didn't see that until later, that he was asking me to turn the resonance up on the filter on the Syntact, and he was asking a lot, and I totally missed that. I didn't see it at all during the stream. So sorry, ILLGATES. I didn't mean to do that, but I would have happily shown you how resonant the filter can get, because you can make a 303 on Digitakt too. Now that we have Portamento and Legato on Digitakt, you can totally do it with a sawtooth wave. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, it was funny. I was kind of like, when I watched a little, going through the stream, like doing bookmarks, and I saw like how badly he wanted me to do that resonance thing, and I absolutely missed that. But yeah, how's everybody doing? We're at EZBOT land now. It must be hard to be so hot and cool and badass all the time. Get out of here, Toby. Thank you very much. EZBOT, speaking of filters, the new filters, are the low pass and high pass new too? Yes. So like, yeah, let's do a little something, something, something. Like, let's do a little sampling. I'm probably not gonna make new music for my set for today. I think I've finished what I need to get done to play my set. I'm closing the show, so I'm playing last. If anybody wants to know, I'm probably playing it around like 9:30 p.m. I put on the shows at the Modbang shows because I own Modbang, and so I don't usually play last. When I play, I usually open, typically, just like get the show started. But last time I had people come to town to play, they ended up leaving a little bit early when the headliner was playing that came in from out of town. So I wanted to have the headliner be in the middle of the show so that more people saw them. And that's why I'm going to close. So people can leave during my set. I don't care. But please stay and watch all the other performers. That's really important to me. Because that's what it's like on a Tuesday night show. People will need to go home and go to work and stuff. So that is what it is. But yeah, let's check out the filters. Yes, I'm closing tonight. It's going to be DJ Weak Acid. In fact, we can bring the flyer up just so you can see this. It starts off with DJ Weak Acid, and then Som Shankar, then Jay Hosking. We all love Jay Hosking, right? I hope you guys all know about Jay Hosking's YouTube channel. He's an amazing musician. Great. He's probably going to have a Digitakt too in the next couple days. He'll be making absolute bangers on his stuff I always wish I could make. I make dance music. I can't stop myself. It's what I end up doing in electronic music land. And then I'm going to close. So this is the show for the night. Please come down, check it out if you're in Seattle. I don't stream them, and I've stopped recording them because it's just such a pain in the ass to do all the things. But people are welcome to record them. I really wouldn't care. But anyhow, let's get back to this. I want to show you how cool it is to sample something that's really stereo. So I think I've realized the microcosm, as stereo as the microcosm is, and we're gonna play with the filter first. But let me finish this little side note. As stereo as the microcosm is, I have noticed that the most stereo thing about it is just the reverb. And I don't know what reverb they used. I don't know what CPU they have in here. It might even be a Daisy. If it is a Daisy, I'm impressed. I really don't know. But I realized that the space is the most stereo thing in it, because when I do the granular stuff, it's not like panning it around. And that's what I want granular stuff to do. I want it to like go all over the place. And that's what the Octacosm template I made does. I made it how I would want a granular synthesizer to be. It's extremely wide. It's just stereo stuff, like crazy, ear candy. And I don't really hear the ear candy that much when I do stuff on the microcosm. But I do have it set up here to where we could sequence something. Let's go bank 2, pattern 9. Yeah, there should be nothing here. So I'll go over here and bring up a MIDI channel. And I think it's just on channel 1. Is it coming in stereo in mono? Let's see. Sounds stereo to me now. But it's mostly just the reverb. All right. Sounds dope. Let's check out these filters. I want to get that done because I want people to be able to see this. I know everyone's interested in the filters because they're one of the coolest crowning new features in the Digitakt 2. I know Toby wants to see it. I love Toby. Toby always helps me with the shows at Modbang. Toby's an amazing musician. Check out Toby. Or YBot. Also Toby. Let's put like a single cycle waveform on one of these tracks. It's currently a MIDI track. And we'll just throw a single cycle square wave on here. So you can see I actually have some samples in here now. Whole bunch of them. Factory. Oscillators, single cycles. Saw. We're looking for the saw. There it is. Set this to cycle. Keyboard. Oh yeah, I don't have to hold that and press keyboard mode. I just hit the keyboard. I don't know why that's so quiet. Because that is really quiet. That is not. Supposed to have to pump it, huh? All right, let's check out the filters. You go to the source page. By default, it sets you up on the legacy filters. So it has a new multi-mode filter, which is, everybody was really jazzed about that. I'm finding it to be the least exciting of the filters, in my opinion. I think the low pass 4 and the comb filter are the most exciting features, or filter features on Digitakt 2. And let's check out low pass 4. Because it sounds awesome. I know that's just too quiet, isn't it? And I don't know why. Maybe it's because the compressor? We'll use the compressor. So one thing I don't like is that I have to hold this and go up and down with the octaves. I was very used to being able to quickly navigate this without using 2 hands to change the octave on the keyboard. I just did it again even. Listen to that. This is the new low pass 4. And to me it sounds like they emulated a ladder filter. I mean, it's probably just a 24 dB filter. I really don't know. But it sounds very ladder-esque to me, which is my favorite sounding filter. Probably everybody's favorite filter, and they don't even know it. All right, resonance. Where's ILLGATES when we need him? Max resonance. So yeah, it sounds to me like a diode ladder filter emulation, because it doesn't self-oscillate. ILLGATES, where are you? Let's just make a little, looks like I was already doing it here. All right, let's make the sound set up. I love this. This is one of my features I really like is function filter is now to go into the setup and change everything. It's very easy to read. Velocity to mod, we checked that out already in the stream, but that's really cool. We'll turn on legato. Yeah. All right. Everything's going to the compressor currently. And then we have portamento, right? So let's turn that on. And we want our notes to be only a 30-second note, because that's how a 303 works. And then we make them longer when we want them to sustain into the next note. So we'll take this up. This turns it into a square wave when you bring your bit reduction all the way up. We can accent it. Oh my god, that's why it's so quiet. The velocity was turned all the way down. Let's turn that back down. This is gonna be really loud now. Oh shit. Doesn't the filter sound awesome? This is probably the best sounding filter. And the other one is the comb filter. I know every single video on the planet with the Digitakt 2 has gone over the comb filter, and I played with it quite a bit in the last stream, so I'm not going to dive into the comb filter right now, but I think that this is outstanding because this turns the Digitakt 2 into a really good monosynth, especially with 3 mod effects or 3 modulation sources, and then we do have a plethora of effects. I mean, this is essentially synthesizer. I mean, it already was essentially a synthesizer, but it's an even better synthesizer than it was before. And now we have 4824, so it's got a better sample rate and bit rate. So it's just better. Everything about it is better. It's closer to what you'd expect from a computer synth, and which is great because I want everything that my computer has, but in the format that Electron makes to make things very easy and fun to make music on. So one of the things that I have to do when I play shows lately, because I started this project as a whole new set and all of my music exists in one project, the Octatrack forces you to cut all the audio when you're playing live. And so what I've been doing is using the Chaos Replay to like cue up a sound or a song on the Chaos Replay, and I fade with the two faders. I fade into the replay's music and I fade out from the Octatrack's music while I switch over projects and dive into my new projects with my other set on it, because this project has my new set on it. But I don't think 3 songs is going to be enough. I have one more song that I need to work on. Not this one. This song. Which I do plan on playing tonight, but I feel like it's the most unfinished one. So anyhow, I'm gonna save. Do I want to save this? I think I've already saved it. I don't need to save it. I've just noticed a few things with the samples loaded from old projects that just some things sound a little bit different. They sound a little like it feels like I want to start everything over in Digitakt 2 from Digitakt 1, even though most of the importing is fine, but some of the longer samples seem like they do different things from the old machines to this one. I don't know, it might just be my ears, but I hear stuff where I'm like, that wasn't in the song before, or those clicks weren't there, or some of the like scraping or clipping sounds. I'm not sure. That stuff I didn't hear in Digitakt 1, and I think that's because it's an old project coming to new project, and maybe it's just one of the quirks of doing that. But I do need to load a new project to go into this other set, and I'm playing, I have to leave to go play the show in a couple hours. So I need to keep going with this process. So we're going to leave Performance Mixer 3.0 8-bar version and head over to my other project. Oh my God. Do I even remember what it's called? I think I was doing the remixer project. All right, so now we go project load, and let's check it out because I haven't tried this out yet, but it's gonna be the first time loading it in here. Load project. No, already saved everything, should be fine. All right, so here we are. Yeah. I haven't heard this in Digitakt 1 yet. Did I load the wrong I think I loaded the wrong project here. Hang on a second. We want to go Ultimate Darkest. Yeah. Some of these songs I can't play because they require the digatone, and I took the digatone out of my set. Partly because it was being buggy, like it wasn't even turning on sometimes. I've had it for a really long time. It's been pretty beat up. It's seen a lot of shows. My Digitakt 2 fared better than my digatone did. But I've taken digatone out. I like the three box setup. I just prefer it. Then I can add these other side pieces, but this is like the meat and potatoes of the music. So everything sounds good. But now I can add chorus to some of these sounds. like this one. Always got to turn it down a little bit when you add a bunch of chorus. Something weird. Yeah. There's a little too much low end on those kicks. It's like, what are, they sound like, some of the kicks sound like they're like being time stretched or something. Like when if they're too close together. Is it the kick that's doing that? What sounds do I have playing? Yeah. Oh, maybe it's this. What does that stand for? LEG, low pass envelope generator frequency. I've never seen LEG. Maybe I need to add a little more amplitude to it. Sounds so cool on the vocals. Reverb and delay are just so much more lush on Digitakt 2. I am gonna probably play that song. Alright. This will be cool. Finally be able to do this. Come here. Go like this. Maybe if we chorus these chords. Ooh. That's pretty tasty. I'm gonna like just overuse chorus so much on Digitakt 2 because never had it before. This kick needs to be filtered a bit. What? Oh. Yeah, I like remember subpage, but like, oh, LED backlight, I can turn that. Oh yeah, okay. Where's the thing to turn off? Is it in setup? Because this has it's panned, and I don't want it to be. It's remembering that. And I want it to be on dual. I can't change it. Because that's from the old Digitakt where you could have it lock it across all of the patterns on your Digitakt, but I don't see where to change it. It's not in personalize. It's not remember subpage. It's not in routing. It's not in MIDI config. Not in pattern. Not in song. Not in project. So where is it? Sequencer? No. It's Euclidean. Setup. No, not in the control config. So what? So that's locked in and I can't do anything about it? I can't even add chorus or reverb? I can. This is baked into my project from Digitakt 1. I can't adjust anything. I can't undo the panning. If I pan it all the way to the right? Master overdrive. This is what Toby was saying. I didn't even realize there was a master overdrive. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Well, we found a bug. We found a this is a bad bug. This is not good. This is not a good bug. Unless I'm missing it somewhere. This is a very bad bug for me. Will remember subpage get rid of it? It won't. Shit. Oh, damn it. This is a bad bug. This makes it so my TB03 is panned hard left. In all the songs in this project I'm playing a show tonight. How am I going to fix that? This means that I'm going to have to go. It's not something you can choose on Digitakt 2. Terrible bug, the worst. What if you try function plus knob and press? Nothing, dude. Nothing. It's like it just doesn't see the values. Damn. Wait a second. This doesn't even matter. Because I'm hearing the TB03 on the left side. The TB03 is going into my Digitakt. So why aren't I hearing it in stereo here? Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, how was I panning it down the middle before? In my old projects. We have been hearing this music with 303 in it this whole stream, and it's been dead center, even though plugged into the Digitakt and input left. But the Digitakt has been playing it in mono, even though it's been panned hard left in the Digitakt. How was I getting it to play? Yeah. Yeah, I was going through all this. Like, for one, this is a bad bug, but this bad bug doesn't actually have to do with my 303. My 303 is coming in mono into my Digitakt, and it should only be on the left channel because the Digitakt only does stereo, so it needs to be in mono. And I bought a cable to fix this. And it's right next to me. Ta-da! I forgot. This was always part of the plan. Get out of here. That should be my output, right? I was actually wondering why I had this cable to begin with. And it is for this reason. Yeah, you know me, I always need more cables considering I own a cable company. There we go. Into the compressor. I honestly thought that the 303 was running into my Digitakt, and that's why I was so upset about this bug. This is a real bug. We hate it. Kill all the bugs. Hello, Electron, you got a bug. Get rid of this. But that's not what was causing my issue over here. My issue was me. And for some reason, my 303 had been playing dead center, even though it was on the left channel. But I did buy the cable, and I had it sitting next to me, and I had no idea why I had it. All right, let's quickly, while we have some folks here, let's, I'm sponsoring my own stream, and I'm going to make you sit through it for 1 second. So, because it has to be done. So check it out. I want to show off, this is also, the stream is sponsored by Modbang, the best company in the universe. They do the best things, they make the best stuff in the world. Cables, Octatrack risers, template stickers for the EZBOT templates, soon to be magnets. This one's a magnet. A bunch of other cool stuff, and I'll show you. Check it out. You can also see all the upcoming shows, all the upcoming Modbang events. They're now hosted on the Modbang website under the events channel. Here's a big show that we're doing with Mikey Lion, Porky, and Tony H. I know that they're big artists, but I'm not familiar with them personally. But it's a huge show coming up in May. But the show that's coming up tonight is right here, and you're going to always be able to find the shows at modbang.com. So when you go to Modbang, it's right under the, it's under the events tab. And that's where you'll see all the live electronic shows put on by Modbang or in collaboration with Modbang. Modbang sells a lot of cool stuff. These are all the patch cables. They all glow in the dark, except for the transparent stuff. That stuff doesn't glow in the dark. These are the synth stands. Make these cool ergonomic synth stands that'll turn your Electron analog rhythm or analog for completely flat. Look at that. Ever wanted that thing to be flat? Alternatively, if you turn it the other way, it makes it at more of an angle. Lots of cool stuff at modbang.com. We also have balanced TRS cables, new chrome transparent cables. Great stuff. Check it out, www.modbang.com. And that's it. Modbang ad. Could have been you, LaCroix. But you really don't care about me. Yeah, Circo's playing. The Modbang show. I feel like I hear like a tiny USB one. I know you can't hear it because there's a little tiny gate on the input of my Octatrack. But ever since I plugged in this dual mono cable into the Digitakt, I hear it. All right, I'm playing that song. Probably playing this one. Techno track.
Make sure you say often.
This is always the song that I close with.
What might happen next? You never know. What might happen next? Make sure you say often. You never know. What might happen next?
Oh yeah, different template. Wow. We don't screw that up at the show.
Make sure you never know. What might happen next? Make sure you say often. You never know.
That happened to me at the last show. That this pattern was set at 64 and this was set at 64, but everything else was at 128, and it took an extra 4 bars before this kicked in. It really threw me off. I'm glad I caught that just now. This is why you got to go through your sets before you play. Otherwise, that would have been a thing. I also realized that I'm so used to my new template with all the noise risers in it that you absolutely love the key of C minor. I do a lot of stuff in C minor, and I do a lot of stuff in D major, G minor. Those are the keys I usually write music in. That's just because that's the stuff I'm the fastest at on a keyboard. Except for C minor, it's just because I'm programming it over here. You cannot change it to 2 monos on the Digitakt. Unless I missed a firmware update. Did I miss a firmware update on the Digitakt? We all have our preferred scale. Circo loves E Phrygian. Did I miss a firmware update? Should we look? Should we look and find out? Let's see. Let's check it out. No. What firmware do I have? There's no way to look, is there? I swear to God, I have this like little USB line coming from there. Yeah, I mean, of course I have the upgrade with that stuff in it. 1.2 to 1.2a. No. Not seeing it. Improvements 1.21. No. I have the newest firmware. Doesn't do anything. Huh. Bummer. So this has the global settings. We don't have global settings. Right? Settings, global effects mix, and here we have a personalize, but it doesn't have the same stuff. It's got some cool stuff that we like, but we don't have that. We don't have the same stuff. And in this one, we can't even change the a global LFO setting? Why would you want that? External in and stereo. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. This is causing... This dual cable is the one causing that sound. Is it? Yeah, it got better. I don't need this dual cable. Get out of here. Can't believe I didn't know that. I did know it because I was using it before, so I guess I forgot it. This is the advantage of the Electron Riser, is that I'm able to hide things under my Octatrack. Let's go back to that song. I think there's actually some 303 we can test it here.
Make sure you say above.
I just realized Jesse Humes is in the chat. What's up, Jesse Humes? Jesse Humes was my coworker at Patchworks for many years. Good to see you, Jesse. Good to see you. Synth shop homies unite on the internet. What a wonderful day. Easy turned down a LaCroix sponsor for this. I wish. Wish LaCroix would sponsor me. I get nothing from LaCroix. Did you see the release of, or you can actually buy the PolyPulse or whatever it's called? Let's see if I can show you guys, because this thing's crazy. Bear with me. Damn it. Where did it go? Oh. Never mind. I wanted to show it off because it looks cool, but it's like this algorithmic hardware thing. I don't know. It's $2,000, but it looks cool. Dang man, you're so popular. I have to watch hella commercials just to hang. They're all. Oh, you do. Oh, you mean during the stream? Yeah. Well, this is my. I don't have a day job, so I have to have ads running. You know, doesn't add up to very much. So click on him. Maybe he'll give me an extra like 2 cents. Let's chat. Let's chat a little bit. Turn it off and on. Do you absolutely hate the new Digitakt? Very funny. Very funny. Side question from Tape Pusher. I really need something like Octaedit to gather songs from different OT projects into one project to play live. What do you guys think? There is nothing. There is nothing. That's the problem. Octaedit is not available. You can't do it. What you can do is actually, you can copy banks and put them on your computer. You just take the bank file and move that over to your project, and that's how you could do it. So if you had all the songs that you liked on your Octatrack in a bank, and you put those files, and you did the gather samples feature in the Octatrack and gathered all your samples, and then you copied the bank along with all the samples and brought them into the other project, then it would work, and you could actually gather banks together. But you can't gather specific songs, but you can gather banks and put them into one project, to answer your question. That's the best that we can do without Octaedit, and it doesn't look like Rusty's going to finish it anytime soon, because I message him every few months, and he doesn't even respond to me anymore. He used to actually respond. So I don't know. Looks like it's not happening. Somebody needs to do it. Not going to be me. Somebody else needs to do it. Are there any samples in the OTA for what you're doing in regards to projects? For me, if you're asking me, 256K, the answer is no. I use the Octatrack explicitly as a performance mixer. And I wish that I had copied over my set to my newest template because my newest template is now my favorite template with the noise risers in it. It's just too cool. I'm going back and answering questions. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm going backwards through the chat. Some new stuff that's coming in. I'm not looking at it right now because I'm reading backwards. Blake says he's going to jet, try and head up to Seattle to catch the show. EZBOT shout out to the D&B comp. Yes, the EZBOT Discord drum and bass compilation is just about finished, and I believe it releases this Friday. So check that out. It's Modbang Records on Bandcamp. You should be able to find it there. See what Toby was saying. Blast my ears. Thank you for showcasing Low Pass 4. You're welcome. It has velocity mod like the Digitone, like the Digitakt. Yes, it does. Digitakt has velocity mod and all the destinations you could possibly want for it, including that comb filter. I think the comb filter with the velocity modifier and just changing the velocity amount on the comb filter and having it the velocity adjust multiple things, because there's 3 different variables for the comb filter, is a really cool idea with just having a noise sample. Just a bing or it's going to make a bunch of crazy sounds, of course, but pretty cool. Femto, I've got Microcosm permanently patched into the Osmos. I bet. Osmos is really cool. The Osmos and the Push 3 are kind of like the same thing to me. Yeti0311 says, damn, how long did it take you to write the song? The song that I played at the beginning of the stream took me a while to write. Probably 10 hours or so, maybe longer. I mean, everything's always like still a work in progress, but that was like a 10-hour song. Sometimes the song is like a 2-hour song or a 4-hour, 5-hour song. It depends on how many patterns I do and how many ideas have inspired me, usually. Any goats? Saggy dogs? Does the song use any compression? I'm so confused. The Digitakt comp settings, man. My songs, depending, some of the songs that I was playing today are using the Digitakt compressor and the Octatrax compressor, but I have the Octatrax compressor set at such a low value that the Digitakt compressor is doing most of the compression on the drum bus. It's a very gentle compression in my performance templates, and it is the same compressor settings on all the templates that use an input compressor. Okay, I think I'm pretty caught up. All right, go back to the beginning here. Hey, at EZBOT, what's up? Made MWA, made with A. Any adjustments you want to apply now leaving? Any adjustments you want to apply now having the DT2? Yeah, I want to like redo all my music. That's kind of how I feel about it. What's new with the performance template? I added noise risers and I adjusted a lot of the effects. So there's 20 new effects in Performance Mixer 3.0, and I added a bunch of noise risers into it. It's not in the current project because right now we were testing out this other project, which I'll have to go back and do after we're finished with the stream. But have I messed with kits? I have not. I have not been building any kits in the Digitakt 2 yet. I think that's coming soon. I think the kits idea with the Digitakt 2 is awesome, and I don't know when I'm going to end up using that as much. I think for somebody's workflow like you, Circo, for instance, like a techno workflow, I think kits is going to be incredibly powerful. Perform kit is really cool. Yes, Perform kit is dope. We can show that off real quick. That's Perform kits. So no longer do you have to do function yes, do stuff, then function yes, function no to reload back to the spot that you want to be in. You can just turn on Perform kit, turn off Perform kit, and it will just go back to the original settings for the kit. So it's a much better workflow for adjusting stuff. What's up with the Empress compressor? The Empress compressor is compressing the bassline so that when I do little squelchy sounds that are really short and small, there is present as the low end and also keeps the low end in check. I got the idea to use this particular compressor with a 303 synth from Mikey 303, of course, because he's the 303 Lord. PolyPulse by Lamda Synthetics. Yes. What time is it? 3:19? We have time to look at this. PolyPulse. I don't have my keyboard over here. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at this, guys. And gals and everything in between. Look at this stuff. This is the PolyPulse. Oops, I just opened the Microsoft Store. Look at this thing. You can order it as of today. I mean, it looks interesting. These are touchpads. Those black squares are touchpads. It's expensive. 2,000 euros. So, I don't know, 2,400 USD or something. It's a lot. I don't know how I feel about the screen being so small with so much data on it. Spoiled by the Electron screens. A little bit bigger. And the M8 screen, also big enough. And the new one, even better. We have Commodore keys for a keyboard. Just like this guy. The OMX27. So it uses an algorithm. Algorithmic sequencer. Look at that. That's kind of cool. I mean, it looks cool. It's totally up my alley. It's weird. It looks like you could just play a show with just it because it has a bunch of built-in effects. All sorts of customized settings. Morphing touchpad. It's got a synthesizer, poly synthesizer, additive synth, 4-operator FM, subtractive synth, a drum kit for playing samples, physical modeling synth engine. Might be worth it just for all the synthesizers it has. It has a multi-band EQ, so you can actually choose bands from your music and EQ that. So it's a multi-band effects. I think it says right here. Multi-band splits audio into multiple frequency bands, so you can apply effects to different frequency bands. So you could DJ, essentially, like do DJ style effects on it. Looks pretty cool. Stereo, reverb, reroute. It definitely has some ideas that other instruments don't have, and it has a massive amount of I/O. Look at this. All 1/4-inch jacks. Balanced ins and outs. Ethernet connection. I don't know. I don't really want to use Ethernet, but okay. 4824, 1 gig ARM Cortex. It kind of looks like a DIY project that's being sold as a finished project. I would kind of like them to like maybe put some graphics on these, on the actual front of the box. Could have been cool. Maybe not like pictures or anything, but you know what I'm saying? That could have been cool. I feel like Weaver Beats. Looking at synth news, music news. It has teleport. It has dash, parry, teleport, power up, all the stuff that you need. If I write down all the tempos for these songs, I could potentially take this and it is so pretty, isn't it? Octrack's just beauty. I could potentially take the these songs and bring them over to Performance Mixer 3.0, which is what I think I'm going to do after we conclude the stream. Because I think I'm pretty much ready. Bank 5. Is there anything here? It sounds really muddy, really messy. Nah. Definitely not going to play that song. It's not ready at all. Anything left here? That one sounds good. I love adding chorus to it. Did I already load the projects? That's what this is. Yeah, these are projects loaded from Digitakt Mark 1. All this music. Except for the very first song, which initially was a project loaded from Digitakt Mark 1, but I started writing a lot of new music on top of that project already. But yes, we are in Digitakt Mark 1-Mark 2, and it says project import. I don't know if that's the same now that I've saved the project. Let me see. Load project. Yeah, so it changed. So there was a symbol next to load project when it was a Digitakt Mark 1 project, had these two arrow dashes instead of the way it is now. And now that I've saved the project, my project is now officially a Digitakt 2 project. So yeah, it loads Digitakt 1 projects. I have, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I've found a couple of little buggy things in it, and yeah. So much work to do. Back to the chat. Captain Picant made a video about that. Are you talking about 303? Yes, the Digitakt and Syntakt and the Digatone, if you try hard enough, can all emulate a 303. Nothing sounds like a 303 on these boxes. None of them actually sound like 303s. 303s use a 24 dB ladder filter that is like one of the poles is unique on it, so it really sounds more like an 18 dB filter, but it's truly a 24 dB originally. A 24 dB ladder filter. Ladder filters are not like these filters. They're analog for one. So everything can sound like a 303, which is just really a high resonant, short staccato notes with some legato notes and some pitch bend or portamento on them, and that's just the 303 sound that we all know and love. But the truth of the matter is you cannot really, what a really good 303 sounds like to me, is when a 303 is clean, not distorted 303. That's when you know you've got a dope 303 sound. Let me see. Of course, I'm compressing the crap out of it. We turn the mix down on my compressor. Yeah. No compressor. You cannot make that sound on a Digitakt, a Syntakt, an Octatrack, Digatone. You can't do it. It takes a 303 to make the sound. Just is what it is. It just is what it is. 303s are special. Heck, I bet my Behringer Model D could kind of sound like a 303. Probably. Anything, I mean, they all can. You can make a 303 sound on a grandmother. Like, you can make a 303 sound. It's not a very unique sound. Like, a lot of synthesizers can make it. Most of them can. Most monosynths can. You know? If it's got a 24 dB filter, it's going to get really close to a 303. Just give it a lot of resonance, set your envelopes up right, and change the trigger length to 30-second notes, and there you go. You know, play with the accent and slide emulation or whatever on whatever synthesizer you're using. You sold your TD3 because the Psy analog filter sounds close enough. Yeah, I mean, I think that's how a lot of people feel. Like, and that's how I feel too. So it's like, if I can get close enough to the sound, I'm going to take it. But there's something really fun about the playing the frequency, the overdrive, and all that stuff on a 303 in a live setting, having it be separate, a separate entity from the boxes, so you're not digging for it. It's just there. It's really powerful because it is a performative synthesizer. Like, your hand is on the 303 the whole time you play the 303. Like, you don't leave the 303 static. Like, when 303 is going live, you play 303. That's what's cool about the 303, and that's why I like it. Otherwise, I would just use a different synthesizer. There's a lot of them out there that can do similar sounds. The sound is good, or have more synthesis options, like the Norand Mono, for instance. That thing's like $800. I'm sure it can do a 303 sound just fine, but it's a lot more money, and it won't have the exact sound because I want. The ladder filter is special. Ladder filters are special. Let's acknowledge how special ladder filters are. Did you envision keeping your Digitakt 1 around to play some other alternative role in your setup going forward? That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Yeah, the Digitakt 1 is probably not going to do anything for me anymore, to be honest. I don't know what I don't know what to do with it. It's pretty beat up right now anyway. Like, it's a pretty beat up device, and I don't want a monophonic sampler. Every other sampler I have in my studio is stereo. Every sampler I own is stereo. Digitakt 2 is stereo, OP1 Field is stereo, Octatrack is stereo, Push 3 is stereo, Dirty Wave M8 is stereo, Polyend Tracker Mini is stereo. All of them are stereo. I'm not going to choose a mono sampler over a stereo sampler when I have the option. I'm just not going to do it because it's just better. And if I want to take advantage of all these guitar pedals that I own, that I never use, and I never use them because they always get summed to mono because I'm a Digitakt user. Like, Digitakt's my favorite instrument, but now I can actually use those pedals with my Digitakt and sample in stereo. So the likelihood of Digitakt 1 actually like sticking around and doing anything for me, pretty slim. pretty slim. I'm probably going to hold on to it for a while just because I don't think they're going to sell for very much. And I don't think too many people are trying to pick up Digitakt, like really used old Digitakt ones like mine. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see myself doing it. That was a good question though. That one takes a lot of thought. Because you're kind of thinking of selling your ST to get the DT2. Oh, now here's another really good question. Selling Syntakt to get Digitakt 2. I happen to have two Syntakts, and I have a Digitakt 2 and a Digitakt, and I have another Digitakt 2 coming here eventually. I also have an Avalon baseline that maybe is arriving next week. I don't really know. But sell the Syntakt. If somebody was like, you can have a Digitakt 2, you can't have a Syntakt, or you can have a Syntakt, you can't have a Digitakt 2, I'm getting Digitakt 2. Hands down. It's a better device in my opinion. It takes you a lot further than a Syntakt will. It's just more powerful. So I recommend Syntakt 2 if you can't have both. Like if a budget doesn't allow for that, then yeah. Digitakt 2 all the way. Syntakt is dope though. It's a different thing. Like, do you want like synthesis controls? Because synthesis controls versus sampler control when it comes to sound design is a big deal. Samplers are really great for playing with snapshots of audio, right? Because that's all they really do. Digitakt's got some great synthesis features in it with the modulators and the comb filter and the different filter options. But that's it, you know? The Syntakt actually has synth engines that are using noise and ring modulators and other features like that we're not going to find FM. You can FM with Digitakt, but it's not the same. Stuff like that, different engine types. Syntakt's definitely got you covered in that. You can create a new drum from scratch in the Syntakt. You can't really do that on the Digitakt as easily. You know, you can, but you're always like, you're fumbling through the process. It's convoluted. It's a little complex. You have to understand drum synthesis to accomplish the goal. And the Syntakt just gets it done. So if you really enjoy the workflow of synthesis exclusively, then stick with the Syntakt. But if you want to be able to sample instruments in your studio, and you know what? This is what makes Digitakt 2 so cool to me too, is I have a lot of modular that you never see on this channel because I rarely ever play with my modular. It's sitting in a really, really messy desk now in the corner of my room studio and a room studio. And I have amazing stereo modules in there. We got Mimeophone, we got Nautilus. We used to have the ER301, wish we had that. We have Euroboro. We have clouds, we have beads. I have some other stereo filter options. There's so many great stereo things in my modular system that I just didn't put to use. I know I have an Octatrack, but I use the Octatrack in a very specific manner. And now I can use all the modular with my Digitakt. And I think that is going to be so awesome because I'm finally going to get to use my modular the way I want to use it, which is just make a really cool sound, a really lush, huge sound, and then sample it into my Digitakt, and then do what I got to do on the Digitakt to turn that into music. And that's new for me. That's new that I get to do that. The M8 could do it, but the sampling workflow on the M8 isn't as optimized, in my opinion, as the Digitakt, but also it's not 4824 like the Digitakt. Like, this is wild. 4824, that's a really good sample rate. That's what I use on my computer. That's what I have Ableton and Bitwig set up as. Also, lots of great updates for Bitwig right now. Everybody should be checking out Bitwig. I reinstalled it after trying not to install it, and I'm back on my Bitwig. I'm back on Bitwig. I tried to switch to Ableton and I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I'm all Bitwig all the way. If you have a DN and a DT2 is more than enough, I think. 20 tracks. Oh yeah. DN plus DT2, and you have to think that DN2 is around, maybe not around the corner, but that's coming next year, maybe, or something. DT2 is coming. DN2 has to be coming at some point. They're not doing this to Digitakt and not updating the Digatone. It's been around forever, so look forward to that. I know I am. I don't know what they're gonna do, but whatever they do, I hope it's more polyphony, more tracks, and different synth engines. I don't want to just have FM anymore. So that would be cool if they added some other stuff. I'll give you $200. I wouldn't really need the DT if the drums on the ST weren't so weak. Snare specifically. I actually think the snare on the ST sounds good. You know what they could do to the for the ST to really improve the ST would be to take the new acoustic. It's my dog. To take the new acoustic emulation synth engines or the physical modeling type synth engines that they added to the Rhythm very recently and bring that to the ST. But then it makes you kind of be like, do I even need the Rhythm anymore? Because those new synth engines on the Rhythm are so good. They really are. Absolutely. And that ARP engine, I forget what they even called it because I have played with it a little bit. I forget what it's called. But that ARP engine's really cool on the Rhythm. That'd be great if they added that to the Syntakt. I think they should add all those engines to the Syntakt. Please, 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 Electron. Neighbor dog sets off my dog big time. I really doubt they'll be coming out with Digatone 2. I think you're wrong, Cook Sonia. I think you're wrong. I think we will see Digatone 2. I don't know why they wouldn't. It'd be silly. It'd be silly not to. Sin Chip. Yeah, that's the engine. See, Matt's dog agrees with you. Yeah, my dog agrees with everybody but me. Yeah, I don't know about ST2. I don't know about DN2 coming soon, but I imagine it's coming. I imagine it's going to come around. It's got to come around like next year or something. I really do believe it. And if I'm right that it's coming, then everybody has to leave a nice comment on the stream. This stream, you have to come back all the way back to this stream and be like, yeah, Matt, you were right. Digatone 2's coming. And I'm going to be right. Looking at you, Cook Sonia. Looking at you. I just think the DT was a special case. There's so much people wanted out of the DT that they couldn't implement. It was their best-selling device by far. The DN doesn't have the staying power, in my opinion. That's why they'll make it have the staying power. That's what they'll do. More polyphony, different synth engines. It's gonna happen. I really think it's gonna happen. Do I know anything about that? I don't. This is me taking a guess. My guess is so far. Here's my guess. Next year, Digatone 2. 3 years, two or 3 years from now, something that replaces the Octatrack. I don't know what it will be. But it's not soon. I imagine it's years away. We have an analog 4 and an analog Rhythm that need the number 2 upgrade as well. We need analog 4 2, not analog 4 Mark 2. We need analog 4 2. Where's that? I don't want a 4-voice analog poly. I don't want 4-voice analog poly. No. At least 5 voices. I can't even use all fingers to make a chord. So please, we want our 13ths, 9ths, and 11th chords. Give us that. I would love analog 4 Mark II. I would also love it to have new filters, like new analog filters or multiple filters to choose from. That would be cool. OT3 is next. Just think what they could do nowadays with the godlike powers. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever get OT3, but I really want it to be Octatone. Yeah, Toneverk or whatever. Toneverk. I'm telling, like, Toneverk is probably Digatone 2. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't want Electron hitting me up and be like, Matt, what are you saying? Stuff like that. I'm not actually saying that. But everybody else thinks that's what it is. And that's what I think it could be. I love this chat dialogue that we're having now. Hexatrack. Toneverk is a mixer, if you have your guess? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that, I don't think they're trying to make a mixer. I've never heard about them trying to make a mixer, and I actually do talk to them. But that would be sick. That would be pretty sick. As long as it lets me make custom effects. I don't want to stick with other people's effects. I want to build them myself. Conflicted about the new button placement. So am I. I wish I could highlight these. There's got to be a way for me to figure out how to highlight people's messages so we can, like, discuss somebody's message. Crispy says, Conflicted about the new button placement, track, mute mode, and DT2 seems weird alongside ST. Sorry if I already talked about this. I have already talked about this. We talked about it in the stream a couple days ago, but it is bothering me. I am already getting used to it, but as I get used to it on this machine, I don't like this this action. I like the finger thumb thing. It just seems more natural for me to get into the mute mode. I don't care about song mode, song edit. I don't even know why that's a button. That should have been a little button somewhere else. Up back here, maybe. Where no one's going to touch it, because I don't care about it. I never use song mode. It's like it's got its own thing now. I don't know, they're really emphasizing using song mode on Digitakt 2. I don't know why. I don't know where they were getting that idea from, that everybody's so into song mode or something. It's not a thing. People aren't making tons of music with song mode, I don't think. Definitely not in the live realm. I do like the little button. I hit it all the time, but it's where track was. So I keep going like this, which is not cool. You know? I don't like that the bank button's gone, and now I have to go function bank. Like, that sucks. Honestly, that sucks. That's probably one of my biggest gripes. I like bank and then hitting the pattern or pattern. And like having those buttons, they're really, really important in a live setting. I don't think I want to do this. And then pick a bank. And then pick a pattern? It just seems convoluted. Yeah, so those are my complaints. I mean, I can complain about anything, right? We all can. And I'm allowed to complain about that. Microsoft Store. Good Lord. Okay. Unless we have something more to talk about. I have more set prep that I need to do. I'm not going to make you all sit through my set prep because it's going to be like copying, pasting, and writing stuff down and stuff. Not fun stuff to watch at all. And it's going to require my brain to concentrate a little bit further. So I am going to let y'all go. I do love to complain. Thanks, Jesse. It's my boy. Can't you also switch the bank in the pattern window? Oh. You can. Let's check that out. I didn't know that. Who said that? Hirudo. Hirodu. I don't know how to say your name. Yeah, you can, turns out. Pattern. Left arrow to go through banks. Okay. I guess that's better. I still think this should have been the bank button. I still don't think they needed a song button. I don't know. I'm never going to use this button. Ever. A wasted button for me. I still don't want to do multiple actions for that. I just want to go to my patterns. I want to go bank, bam, bam. You know, it's got to be really fast and fluid. I don't want to think. Bank A, pattern 1. I don't know. I don't like it. I use the Octatrack as my pattern bank master, so pretty easy here. One of the coolest things, I know I said I was about to leave, and I'm going to. But one of the coolest things that we have in here, and this is, I mean, Electron, I'm sure, already knows about this, but, and why it's so cool. I showed it off at the beginning of the stream, but being able to function yes, and you can actually cue, and you're in mute mode, Cue up your mutes. Like. Cueing your mutes and returning to your mute mode. Very cool. That's going to be used in a lot of live shows. I can see a lot of people ending up doing that all the time. So there's your little EZBOT trick for Digitakt Mark II, which no one had mentioned yet. At least you're getting something out of this stream. All right, everybody. You're all wonderful. Thank you for hanging out. I'm going to do some more work and continue to prep for the show tonight. Make sure you come down if you're in Seattle. I really want you there. I want to meet you. I want to meet that dad. I want to meet you and play music for you. So come on down to the 4Bs tonight at 7 o'clock and see DJ Weak Acid, Jay Hosking, Som Shankar, and myself. I'm on a lot of cold meds because I caught a cold recently. It's doing a pretty good job of clearing out my nose. I don't think I'm contagious, but don't try and kiss me or anything. Okay. Because you'll make it sick. But I'll see you at the show, hopefully. My name's Matthew, aka EZBOT. If you'd like to get your hands on the performance templates, you can find them at patreon.com/EZBOT. I have tons of Octatrack cool stuff, tutorials and templates on Patreon. And if you would like to also get them without joining a Patreon subscription service, you can visit coffee.com/EZBOT and pick them up there as well. If you would like to just support this channel, you can just leave a nice comment and a like on these streams and videos, and they will be seen by more people because that's how it works. So you'd be doing me a solid. If you want to also support, you can use affiliate links that are in the chat description. Those are always available, and they do support me or endeavors that I am feel strongly about, like helping out Patchworks and such. Some of the links are for me, which would be affiliate links, and sometimes they'll be for Patchworks, which just supports Patchworks and not me. But you can choose which one you'd like to do. I will see you next week, next Tuesday, for another live stream. Also, next week, I will be streaming for Korg on the Chaos Replay for a while, showing you how to use the Chaos Replay in a live setting and what's its purpose, and just how to get familiar with it. So look forward to that. That's going to be next Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you all next week.